Welcome you all for direct taxation class, Unit 2, Session 1. In Unit 2, we will be discussing the concepts related to your income from salary as well as income from house property. These are the two heads of income which will be discussed in your Unit 2. Right. So, in your Unit 2, income from house property, they have said as per the syllabus theory only, but as you need to calculate the total income when even the house property calculation is also required. So, we will be going with few aspects of your theoretical aspect as well as the problematic related to your income from house property. First thing is I will be dealing with income from house property. So, first and foremost thing is basis of charge, right. So, before moving on to basis of charge, we will just understand what is income from house property. So, all of us know income from house property means, for example, you will be knowing you will be living in a rented house or you will be collecting a rent, right. So, where you can understand that either you are paying the rent or either you are receiving the rent. So, if you are receiving the rent, there is some income that is generated through your house property, right, for you when you are receiving a rent, right. That is what. So, in simple terms, this is what it means, how the income will be generated from your house property. So, it might be lease, it might be rent, you will be generating the income through your house property. So, here your house property could be, it may be your home or it might be your office, it might be your shop or it might be a building or anything or any land that will be attached to your, it might be your parking lot also. So, attached to your house or home, right. So, that will be said as your house property. So, through this you will be earning or you will be generating the revenue in terms of rent, in terms of lease. So, this will be said as your income from house property. And also, as per income tax authority, there is no differentiation saying that this is a commercial property, this is a residential property. For example, if you go with your electricity charges, right. So, at that time they say that this is a residential house, the charges are different, and this is a commercial shop, the charges are different. Like that, differentiation are there with respect to your electricity charges, it might be water charges, like that. Utility charges, there is a differentiation. But here, in your income from house property, when you are dealing with, there is no differentiation as such, saying that this is a commercial property, this is a residential property. No. To calculate your income from house property, all the properties are treated as same under your income tax act or income tax, right. So, here and most of the thing here is a person should be there called as an owner, right, where he should be or he will be a legal owner, right, where he will be exercising the right on the property, right. That is one thing. Next thing is, when any property is used for the purpose of business or profession in case, or if you are carrying out any freelancing activity, right. So, that will not be coming under your income from house property, right. It will be charged under income from business or profession head, right. So, and also certain expenses related to your maintenance aspect will be there, that will also be considered as business expenditure. Means here any property, if you are using it for business or profession purpose, so that will not be considered under this head as income from house property. So, here the scope of income that will be charged with respect to your income from house property is defined by section 22, right. Afterwards, also related to the computation of your income related to your house property, it is governed by section 23 to 27, right. So, this is a brief about your income from house property. In simple terms means, what is the income you are earning in terms of rent, in terms of any property, what you lease, right. So, you will be earning the rent or you will be receiving the income. So, that is said as your income from house property, right. Next thing is, we will move on to basis of charge. So, here basis of charge we will move on to. So based on this, there are three conditions. So based on these three conditions, we will understand what is income from house property. Means basis of charge in the sense there should be a benchmark or there should be set of criteria that will be defining a particular thing, right? For example, if you want to say that you are qualified or you are graduated, means there are set of criteria. What it is, you have to clear the subjects, right? Then only you will be certified through the concerned colleges or concerned universities. In the similar way, here also, if you want to tax any income related to house property, means they should satisfy these three conditions, right? So they should satisfy these three conditions. So we will discuss, so what are those three conditions? First condition is, it is said that property should consist of any building or land appurtenant thereto. This is one condition. Second condition is, the assessee should be the owner of the property, right? So third condition is, the property should not be used by the owner for the purpose of any business or profession carried on by him, the profits of which will be chargeable to income tax or which are chargeable to income tax, right? So these are the three conditions that is said as basis of charge to define that this income will be charged under income from house property. Clear? So we will go with one by one conditions. So first condition is, property should be consisting of any building or land appurtenant thereto. So what do I mean by building here? So here, building in the sense, it should be a permanent structure. They say that it should be a permanent structure which is made up of your brick, stone, concrete, or either any material which will be used to construct a building with the foundation. So where your walls and doors will be fixed, right? So that is said as building. And also they say that temporary structures are not treated as building. For example, for your movies, they will be putting a temporary sets. It might be like house, it might be like a hotel, it might be like a shop, right? So those will not be considered here. So here, building means the permanent structures should be there. That will be said as your building. Next thing is, or land appurtenant. What do you mean by this land appurtenant? Means land that is connected with your building. So which are the things that will be connected with your building? For example, it might be a garden, it might be a garage, it might be a parking lot, right? So like this, which are connected with your property or with your building, that will be said as the property building considered. So they say that property should consist of any building or land appurtenant thereto, right? Means permanent structure should be there and it should also be connected with your property or buildings, right? So this is first condition. Next thing is, we will move on to second condition. So what does this second condition say? So here the second condition says the assessee should be the owner of the property. So what do you mean by this? Owner of the property means, so means only if an assessee is the owner of the property, he is treated or it will be assessed. So how he can be a owner? Where he should have some legal rights on the property. Where assessee need not be a registered owner, he need not be a registered owner here. So here the word owner includes your legal ownership or a legal owner as well as a deemed owner, where it might be an individual, it might be an HUF, it might be a firm, it might be a company, it might be a cooperative society, it might be an association of person, AOP we call it as, right? So all those will be coming or will be said as legal owners or deemed owners, right? So here your ownership will be including either the leasehold or either the freehold rights, or it also includes deemed ownership under section 27, right? Sometimes it is also that assessee must said as assessee must be the owner of the property during the previous year, right? He might not be the owner in the assessment year, but whenever you are assessing your income tax, it will be assessed based on the previous year, whatever the transaction that has been happened or whatever the incomes you have earned, right? So because of that, we say that assessee must be the owner of the property during the previous year, right? So here means, and also the title of the ownership in case if it is under dispute or under law. So at that point of time, the owner will be chargeable for income, right? And also it depends on the income tax authority to decide who will be chargeable to tax, because as the property is under dispute, right? And also annual value of the property will be assessed with respect to your income from house property, where under section 22 that will be said as chargeable to tax, right? And also sometimes if it is income from your subletting in the sense you will take it on a rent, afterwards you will be renting it for some other person, right? So that is said as subletting, which is not taxable under section 22, means it is not taxable under the head income from house property, right? Then question arises where it will be chargeable. So it will be chargeable or it will be taxable under the head income from other sources. Next thing also we come across under section 27, where it will be said the persons who are treated as deemed owners of house property. So who are those deemed owners of house property, it is said. So who will be treated as deemed owners of house property for the purpose of charging the tax on related to your house property? Who are those? One is transfer to spouse or minor child, means if any individual is transferring his property to the spouse or to a minor child. So at that particular point of time, this as per section 27, he will be chargeable to tax, right, with respect to income from house property. Next thing, holder of impartible estate, right? So here holder of impartible assets in the sense, for example, ex-ruler will be there. Assume that he is having 3 or 4 sons, right? And this ex-ruler has donated some part of the land for a temple, right? Where temple is generating the revenue, right? So at that particular point of time, that revenue will be received by the ex-ruler's successors, that is their sons. So at that particular point of time, he is having 4 sons. All the 4 sons cannot be said as the legal owners of the property, right? So, but on behalf of all the 4, one will be held as, it might be younger one or it might be elder one. So as per the ex-ruler's wish, right, he will be held as responsible, or he will be said as a legal owner, but the benefits will be shared among all the 4. So at that particular point of time also, they will take into consideration annual value. So based on that, they will make the charges, right? Okay. Next thing is, in case your property is held by the cooperative society or a company or an association of person, right? Means suppose cooperative societies are there. You will be knowing cooperative societies. For example, Krishna Rajendra Cooperative Society, Graduate Cooperative Society, Merchant Cooperative Societies. Like this, cooperative societies will be there. So they will be having their properties, right, where they will be generating the revenue. So at that point of time, here also, as it is a cooperative society, means it is not one person's property, it will be the member's property. So at that point of time, the particular person who is as a head of that association or that particular cooperative society will be considered as a legal owner, right? And the property will be held for the taxation purpose, right? And company and also association of person, right? So these are the things. And next thing is, in case if any person is acquiring the property under your power of attorney transaction, means suppose if the kid is minor, so at that particular point of time, his parents or his guardians will be having a right. So where the power of attorney will be given. So what do you mean by this power of attorney? In the sense, it is a responsibility or a power or the authority given to some other person on behalf of a minor person, right? It not only it is minor person, anything else, in case if it is aged person also, that time also power of attorney can be given. Means the whom the power of attorney is given, he will be the caretaker of that particular property, right? So at that particular point of time, in case if it is satisfying section 53A transfer of property act, at that point of time they say that it should satisfy the condition of your 53A transfer of property act. So what does it should satisfy means? They say that there should be an agreement, means written agreement should be there, purchase consideration should be received, right? Purchase consideration should be paid or it should be received. That is the thing. Next thing is the possession of the property should be with the purchaser, right? So based on that, he will be said as, means the person who is holding the power of attorney will be said as deemed owner. Clear? Next thing is, in case a person who has required or who is having a right on a building under section 269 UA subsection F. So under this, if any person is having a right of a building, he will be also treated as deemed owner, right? Means, what does it mean? 269 UA subsection F. What does it mean here is, it means taking a property on lease not less than 12 years. They say that you are taking a property not less than 12 years or sometimes with an obligation of making an extension, it will be taken on lease, right? So this is all about your section 269 UA subsection F, right? And also all these concepts are related to your condition 2, or this will be the basis of charge where they say that the assessee should be the owner of the property. Clear? The assessee should be the owner of the property. Next thing is condition 3. So what does this condition 3 means? So here condition 3 says the property should not be used by the owner for the purpose of a business or profession, right? Where he will be carrying out it for the purpose or with the intention of making the profit. So in case if he is earning a profit, that will be chargeable to income tax. Means any individual or any owner or any person, if he is having a property, in case if those property are used for the purpose of business or used for the purpose of profession, so at that particular point of time, it cannot be charged under the head income from house property, but the charges will be made under the head business income or professional income. Under the head business or profession head, it will be chargeable to tax. So in case if you want to make the charges as income from house property, an individual should satisfy all these 3 conditions, right? So all these 3 conditions, if an individual is satisfying or satisfied, then the property income will be charged as income from house property. Is it clear? This is what the basis that will be taken into consideration whenever you are calculating your income from house property. Next thing is, and also you need to remember certain points with respect to this, right? One thing is, first point is, you need to remember income from subletting of house property will be taxable under income from other sources, not under income from house property. That is one point what you need to keep in mind. One thing. Next thing is income of vacant plot. Means in case if you are giving, suppose this job fairs will be going on, melas will be going on at that time, in the vacant plot they will organize these events, right? So at that time the owner will be receiving the rent for it, right? Or it will be fetching him the income. So that income is not taxable under the head income from house property. It is taxable under the head income from other sources. That you need to remember. Next thing is income from display of advertisements on the roof of the building. Means most of the times you will be seeing on the houses, or else if you visit KR Circle or the Arsu Road, at that point of time on the buildings there will be many advertisement boards will be there, which will be hanging over, where those people who have advertised, means the company's advertisements, whatever which is being displayed on the board, those people will be paying as a rent or as a compensation or as a consideration. They will be paying the owners of that particular building. So at that particular time also, those income which will be taken into consideration, that will not be charged under the head income from house property. So again it will be charged under income from other sources. These things you need to remember, because sometimes in your, whenever you are solving the problem, they will say that income from subletting of house property, so and so. So at that point of time you need to remember that it will not be chargeable under the head income from other sources. This is the points what you need to remember. And next thing is, there are few exceptions, right? So with respect to that, what are those exceptions? That you need to again remember. So exceptions in the sense, again the same thing will be repeated. So whatever I said with respect to your points to be remembered, that will be taken into consideration again here. So income from your let out of a vacant land, means in case if there is any vacant land, so that will be chargeable to tax under the income from other sources. So why it is said as exception? Because it is not charged under the income from house property. So it is said as exception. Next thing is, in case income earned by an assessee who is engaged in the business of letting out the properties. Means, for example, if a person, the main businesses or main activity itself is letting out the land, or he will be taking the lands and he will be giving it on rent, or he will be letting out the properties. So at that particular point of time, this person's income what he received, it will not be said as income from house property, because he is doing it as a business. He is not the owner. He means somebody else will be the owner. He is taking from the owner and he is renting on it, right? For example, you will be having a vehicle, right? If you are running it by your own, so you will be treated as owner and then it will be taken into consideration. But if you are giving it for travels, so for the travel person it is a one vehicle, that's all, right? For you it is a ownership, right? So like that here also, any property which is given on rent as a business, that particular point of time, the income what will be generated or earned by that assessee, it will be charged under the head profit and gains of business or profession, right? So this is with respect to exception what you need to remember. Next thing is, and also one more thing with respect to applicability of section 22 in certain typical cases, right? So which are those in the sense, so this also you need to remember, because your section 22 will be saying regarding the income from house property, clear? So here which are those? One thing is house property in a foreign country, right? Sometimes you might be having the property in the abroad also. In other countries also you might be having a property. So where at that particular point of time, this section 22 will be applicable and it will be treated as income from house property and it will be chargeable to tax. So where the annual value of that particular property will be considered and it will be treated as the land is situated in India, right? Or the property is in India. So in that perspective they will take into consideration, and based on that it will be chargeable to tax. Again, where the owner might be resident in India, the owner might be non-resident or not ordinary resident in India, right? Taking all these things, and also the municipal taxes in case if it is paid outside India, right, shall be given as a deduction from the taxes, right? So that is with respect to your what applicability of section 22 under section 22 in certain cases with respect to house property, right? Next one, disputed ownership, right? So sometimes with respect to your property, disputes will be going on, right? So at that particular point of time, you might be not able to take up the decision who will be the legal owner or who will be said as the owner of the property. So at that particular point of time, the decision of saying that he is the owner or he is the legal owner of the property will be in the hands of income tax authority. Means the income tax authority will have the full right to decide who will be the legal owner, means on whom the taxes should be levied. They will decide. Okay. Next thing is property held as a stock in trade, right? So most of the time, best example nowadays you might be seeing the flats are, means big buildings are constructed where it has been divided to flats and it will be sold. Stock in trade, right? So at that particular point of time also it will be considered for your section 22, means income from house property. Based on that it will be chargeable to tax. Clear? Next thing is treatment of composite rent. So what do you mean by this composite rent? Again here also your section 22 applicability will be there, right? So normally any rent means a person who is giving the building on rent, giving the property on rent, he will be receiving the rent or he will be recovering the rent for building. But sometimes he also gets rent for, with respect to furnitures, it might be utilities, it might be electricity charges, it might be providing water facility, it might be providing air conditioning, it might be providing watchman, right? So in apartments, these are the charges that will be collected, right? So which is said as composite rent, means the amount which is also recovered with your rent. It is also said as additional charges. So at that particular point of time also, where we say that sometimes it will be said as composite rent is separable, composite rent is not separable. So what do you mean by composite rent which is separable? Means separable in the sense which can be separated, means where you can bifurcate. This is the amount spent for building rent, this is the amount spent for other things or other utilities, it is for watchman, it is for utilization of electricity, it is at that particular point of time. So here how it will be treated means it will be charged under profit and gains of business or profession or income from other sources. This composite rent will be charged there. In case if it is not separable, right, in case if it is not separated, at that particular point of time also it will be charged under profit and gains of business or profession or income from other sources. This is related to your treatment with respect to your composite rent. Next thing is when a house property is owned by the co-owners, means co-owners in the sense adding on to the ownership, right? So at that particular point of time also, depending on section 26, right, so it will be said as it will be chargeable to income from house property, right? So these are the things which is related to your income from house property, means which are treated as income from house property and which will be charged under income from house property, right? Afterwards, next is moving on to certain properties will not be charged, right? Means or else property income is not charged to tax under the head income from house property. So which are those? Again, I'll just list out or I'll just go through that. So what are the things? Suppose income from any farmhouse forming a part of your agricultural income. So at that particular point of time, it is not taxed as property income. It will not be treated as property income. This you need to remember. They might ask you a theory question. They might ask, property income is not chargeable to tax. Mention any few or mention any 7. It might be 7 marks question or it might be 10 marks question or it might also be for 3 marks question also it can be asked. So you need to remember this, right? Next thing is annual value of any one place in the occupation of the ex-ruler, because rulers will be having many palaces, right? So at that point of time, one palace based on that annual value will not be treated as property income, right? Next thing is income from house property by the local authority. So local authority in the sense, if it is Mysore, it will be taken as Mysore City Corporation. If it is Mandya City Corporation, Bangalore City Corporation, like that. Depending on that particular areas or that particular vicinities, municipalities will be said as local authorities, right? So that is one thing. Next thing is income from house property on an approved scientific research association is there, means that will also be not charged as a property income. Next thing is Khadi and Village Industries Board, means these Khadi products, right? So they will also be not treated as property income. Next thing is institution for the development of Khadi and village industries. So that will also be not considered as property income. Next thing is a body or an authority for administering religious and charitable trusts. So they will not also be considered as property income. Next, property income of universities, educational institutions, they will also be not considered. So all these will be coming under your section 10 only, right? Under section 10, these things will be coming, and also property income again related to any registered trade union. If any registered trade unions are there, that will also be coming under. It will not be treated as income from house property. It will be again, means it is not treated as income from house property. Means what does it mean? It is exempted from this head, but some other head it will be chargeable. There is no excuse for tax. Each and every one of us, either directly or either indirectly, we will be paying the tax, right? So that you need to understand. Next thing is statutory corporation or any institution or associations that will be financed through the government in the interest of promoting SC/ST members. So at that particular point of time also, it will not be taken into consideration as a property income. Next thing is income from house property that is held for charitable trust again, so that will not be considered. Property income of any political party, not considered. Again, if it is the property is used for business or profession, no, it is not considered here. Again, for an individual, if it is occupied as a self-occupied, then also one self-occupied will be given an exemption, rest will be taken into consideration. These are the properties that are said as which will not be forming a part of your tax, right? So this is what a brief theoretical background of your income from house property. Thank you.